this is actually the kickoff. I'm trying to figure out what we call this little adventure that Nick and I have going that I've roped Nick into doing.
Yeah. Oh, and I see Nick's got a big frown on his face. I think Nick's in his element here. Actually, I am on camera. Marissa is on camera.
We're all on camera.
Yeah,
Tim's on. We're all on camera.
And it's not even candid camera.
It's
we
not.
know it's here.
Yeah, we do.
And we're still acting silly.
I'm trying to make not the best faces I can.
Yes.
I don't have to worry about this.
Yeah, it's not on Ustream. It's for the mind, isn't it, Tim? It's a mind.
Well, it's not the mind. I know yesterday you had some talk about the meetings that are coming up next week. And, everybody's aware that we've been working on the land transfer out at Pumpkin Hollow, which is an acquisition of lands for paid for fair market value. And, Senator Reed came out in August and said, hey, I want a wilderness up there on Bull Mountain.
Oh.
He said he wants that to be part of the package that goes to Congress. And so we said, okay, well, what is it? And what I found out in August is that people didn't know a lot about it. Mm-hmm. So I said, I think we ought to figure out what this is all about and get everybody looking at the same set of facts about it. So we retained a company out of Carson City, Resource Concepts, and they went out and did the study, and they interviewed the grazing folks that are up there, and they interviewed the people, about 35 different people just to see what the interests and concerns were there. Several years ago, that wilderness proposal up there was very controversial. Mm-hmm. And as it turns out, I don't think people were talking about the same thing when they were either for or opposed to it because it was never a factual basis. So I forgot to bring it in. I'll go and get it during the break. Okay. But we did this report, and the report's been done. And the county has looked at it, and they've come up with essentially a compromise proposal. There's nothing been decided yet, and that's the purpose of next week's meeting, is to have people come and look at what was found out in that investigation, and the basis, the rational basis for saying what should be up there. Now, so I look at it and I say it's 20 miles away from Pumpkin Hollow. I don't care.
Yeah.
But as I told the county board 3-4 weeks ago, it was kind of a shotgun marriage, and the preacher Reed,
yes, who just entered the
said,
picture,
I want both of these things. And it's been in the queue for a long time, several years. So we're again trying to figure out what it is. And I think we've gotten to that point where we have a good database and maps and describes the area up there. Apparently that area has what they think is the oldest pinyon pine in the state of Nevada.
Oh, really?
So you ask people, would they have known that? No.
Yeah.
Would they have known that there's a large area of pinyon juniper that has come in the last 100 years since fires were suppressed? Mm-hmm. So now it's a potential. It's what a fire guy would call a powder keg.
Exactly.
There's a potential for catastrophic fire up there. So one of the things that the people working on this said, you need to have some fire control there, or you're going to burn up the oldest pinyon pine tree in the world. So some of those different needs they're different than just what wilderness might be. So that's what it was looked at as, a comprehensive type of need. And the fact, let me ask folks here, all three of you you've been in Yerington for a while, right? Are you familiar with Raccoon Beach and Sportsman's Beach? See, a lot of people haven't, but there are a lot of people that are passionate. It's on the East Walker River, south of the Flying M Ranch. You drive down the county road down toward Aurora.
Okay.
And there's access to the river there, and a lot of people have, all their life, they've been down there fishing and hunting and doing things like that. Well, 4 years ago, that area was in the proposed wilderness. So that made people very concerned, because they said, well, does that mean I can't go in there anymore? So, that area has now been taken out of the proposal that the county has, because they recognize that there was a public use there that was traditional and it's been there for many years.
Yeah, people were using
it. So as a compromise, they said, well, we shouldn't do that. Mm-hmm. And it doesn't have wilderness characteristics because there's lots of roads there, and people have been.
Yes, I have been down that way. Yeah.
Yeah. So, all of this stuff has been put together and will be presented on Monday. We have Resource Concepts coming in to say, this is what we found out. Here's the facts. And the paper did mention last week that they designated a proposed boundary for wilderness on the map, and that's not true. Resource Concepts just did the maps.
Okay.
We told them their job is not to come in and make any specific recommendations, that they just should
Show you what's out there.
show
Yeah.
you what's out there. So I guess, what I'm trying to poll people is saying, if you look at this and take some time and try to understand it, do you think a compromise solution in that area is a reasonable thing if you also get the Yerington land bill and expedited development of the mine?
Well, you still get the best of both worlds. You still get everything. Everything that was there, all the stuff that you guys are giving up, and the protection of the sage grouse.
Yeah, that's a separate deal too. So we have committed to buying a conservation easement on one of the highest priority sage grouse habitat areas at the Desert Creek Ranch, and we've said we've tried to find this balance.
Right.
Everybody talks about balance, and that has nothing to do with the wilderness. It's a third leg of the stool, if you will, about saying, we recognize that there's a package of land being transferred from public ownership to private ownership, and if we put all these things together, it gets the best of both worlds.
Yeah,
hopefully.
everything. It's called working together.
Working
sounds like
together.
To me. Yeah.
Yeah.
Isn't that funny? When everybody works together, it's a better world
Yes.
instead of fighting.
So nobody's going to get exactly what they
Right,
want,
yeah.
but that's the art of compromise, to
Yeah.
say, well, are you going to get something that's in the best middle point between the two points of view?
So what do you got, Tim? You got your all your.
I have
that
the
is a
report.
heck of a
There's
portfolio
a lot
there.
of pictures and
Yeah, I
very,
like pictures.
very nice maps. And we're going to have this. They're going to go through this on Monday
Mm-hmm.
and say, here's what we found out about this area that has created a lot of controversy in the past. But I think after I saw this report, I said, well, I didn't know that. I
Yeah.
didn't know that.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm hoping people with an open mind say, well, I didn't realize that.
I didn't at all.
No.
Do people realize that the Forest Service has already made that entire area roadless, other than designated roads? So you see a little roadless area map,
Yeah.
and they took all the existing roads and they did what they call cherry stemming. They say, okay, we can leave this road, people can continue to use it. So if you're a person that's driven up to the top of that mountain, that road will still be open,
Okay.
just like it is right
Just like
now.
it was, yeah.
Just like
Same
it is
thing.
right now. And then over on the east side along Highway 338 there, Sweetwater Summit, that is an area that's a high risk fire area. So the recommendation that was developed said, we really oughtn't to make that wilderness. There's a lot of roads in there that people use to cut Christmas trees, and really that needs some urgent attention, because if a fire were to start there, it would burn over the top of the mountain, and everything everybody's debating about right now kind of goes away.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, because
And
trees are fuel.
they've seen the effects of catastrophic fire over at Topaz this summer,
Yes.
and other areas, and it's something that really alters the landscape significantly.
That's right.
And everything that everybody cares about, hunting, fishing, wilderness qualities, everything gets suffers because of that. So
Yeah, those poor people in Topaz, if you drive over there and see that, you don't really think about that. You think, well, the forest, if you go into the tall pines and stuff, that's the fires. But it happens in rangeland. It happens
Right.
everywhere.
right.
Anything that can burn.
Yeah. So what's happened in the last 100 years, as studies showed, is that there's been an expansion of pinyon juniper, and if you drive over there, it looks nice. There's lots of dense tree cover, but it's very very susceptible to a catastrophic fire, and it's something that just developed in the last 100 years. And it's something that perhaps needs some management, that a different land use designation is more appropriate for that area.
Someone to take care of it.
There's some mining claims on the north side, the Lincoln, the Pine Grove area.
Uh-huh.
Those are historic and existing mining claims. So part of that analysis said, well, we really shouldn't make that wilderness. There's active exploration and mining going up there. And it really, there was a town at
Right.
Pine Grove.
Yes, I've been up there
So,
several times.
you say, well, what's the best management designation for that area? And it probably isn't wilderness, and that was in 4 years ago in the proposal for wilderness. I says, well, I didn't know that. I didn't realize that what was proposed 4 years ago extended all the way to the north. and extended across the Walker River to the south. So that created some serious controversy. And at this point, it's not. So, you know, I'm trying to, you know, it seems to me I'm hearing from people that are saying, well, you know, if you try to protect different uses out there, it seems pretty reasonable to me.
Mm-hmm.
So, again, I encourage people who are interested in it to look at this and try to come to their own conclusions.